So in this video, we're going to talk all about the pros and cons of living in Dana Point, California.
So stay tuned. What's up, everybody? I'm Dezahd.
And I'm Dezahd.
And we're with Keller Realty, the California Homes Group, right here in Orange County, California. And if this is your first in the channel and you want to know everything about working, eating, sleeping, living, and playing in Orange County, don't forget to click on the subscribe button, and don't forget to click on the little bell so you're notified every time we have a new video coming out. Honestly, we get so many calls from people looking to buy or sell a home in Orange County, and we absolutely love it. So what do you think about moving to or from Orange County? Don't forget to either text us, send us an email, or give us a call. However you want to get a hold of us, we got your back when moving to or from Orange County.
Okay, so whenever we do these videos, we've done many videos about different cities in Orange County, giving the pros and cons, and we really try to be honest about what are the pros and what are the cons. We want to give you the truth.
I want the truth! You can't handle the truth!
But in this case, we actually can handle the truth.
Yes, because actually, so last night when we were preparing for this video, we were talking about what are the cons.
Yeah, we're trying to dig up dirt.
We're trying to dig up dirt. Going back.
I mean, there wasn't much dirt to dig up.
Yeah, we just kept talking about it, and we just kept saying, I mean, what are the cons of Dana Point? Is Dana Point...
Like, are we just going to make it a con that is named Dana Point? Like, I mean, I think it's fine to me. I'm just saying, like, I mean, that was that hard to find cons. We were going, God, we have like pro. What are the cons?
So the question is Dana Point another unicorn city?
Coastal edition.
Coastal edition, where there's, I mean, okay, so why are we calling it unicorn? Okay.
Because it's hard to find that city that's kind of perfect, right?
Yeah, so, okay, so for perfection, we got to start with price.
Okay.
So let's talk about the price. It is a coastal city in California. So let's talk about the price of Dana Point in comparison to the other coastal cities.
Exactly. So if you're talking about
Orange County.
Yeah, so if you're talking about price as a general whole to the country, of course, that would be a con because it's pretty expensive. I think the median price is about 1.2 million.
It's 1.3. 1.3 is the median price for Dana Point.
So basically what you have there is, it's obviously not cheap, but again, coastal Orange County, you're not going to, I mean, that's actually
pretty cheap.
Relatively inexpensive, especially because it's right next to Laguna Beach, which is basically double that. It's like 2.6, I think.
Yeah, 2.7.
No, yeah, and then Newport Beach is right above that, which
2.8.
And so when you're dealing with that expensive an area, and this is right next to them, this is actually a relative bargain if you can believe it.
Yeah, it's kind of a steal. And then what's interesting too is that, you know, any beach city, generally speaking, there's usually some parts where you're like, it's not that nice. It's kind of, you know, it's got that beachy, kind of beach bum kind of feel to it. But Dana Point doesn't really have that.
I mean, it's, again, every place has its different neighborhoods, but at the same time, if you're looking at the general whole, Dana Point's pretty awesome. I mean, actually, it's a nice area. I mean, it's really nice. I mean, you have, I mean, it's really hard to shoot down anything about Dana Point. It's a really nice area.
And I think if we're talking about all of the pros and cons, one of the really things that people really like about it is that it has a small town feel. I mean, the people really talk about who live there. They really talk about how, you know, everyone knows each other. It has a small town feel. You go.
They have a little downtown area in the Lantern District.
The Lantern District, yeah, and you know they go to bars, and it's not really kind of like a touristy party feel. It's more, you know, everyone knows each other. It's more like
a pub kind of thing.
Yeah, more like a pub kind of feel. So that's really what people really like about Dana Point. So you want to just go through some of the pros, some of the different pros?
For sure. Let's do it.
So obviously one of the biggest pros is the beach. Dana Point has some gorgeous beaches.
Yeah, and beaches for a little bit of everybody because they also have a beach for little kids too.
Mm-hmm, yeah, they have baby beach. Yeah.
Yes. And so what's nice about that is that it's in the harbor. So I mean, the pros got a really nice harbor.
Is so beautiful.
Yeah, it's a cute harbor
Dana Point's harbor. Yeah.
So they have a harbor there, and within that harbor, so obviously you're not going to get too much like big waves crashing. They have a baby beach, which is cool because you have sand, you have all that stuff. But it just kind of, you're not worried about rip tides, you're not worried about waves crashing, so your kids can play in it like it's almost a pool.
Yeah, and then another great thing about Dana Point is that it has great whale watching.
You're gonna need a bigger boat.
It's actually, people come from all over Southern California to go whale watching in Dana Point because Dana Point actually, I think it has trademarked itself as the whale watching capital
of the world.
Yeah, the whales, every year, you know, the gray whales, they migrate through Dana Point, and I guess for whatever reason, that particular spot is a great place to go to watch the whales. Yes, so that is another pro of living in Dana Point. And then here's a pro that, okay, so last night when we were talking about this, we were kind of arguing about it, but I actually think the beaches in Dana Point aren't that, if you compare them to other beaches, they're not as touristy, I would say, as like Laguna or Newport or Huntington. So I would say it's not as crowded. He was kind of disagreeing.
I think that just depends on when you're going. So it's gonna. I mean, hey, it's a beach. It's easy to get to. Mm-hmm. It's gonna have people. Like, it's gonna have tourists. And again, that just goes with the territory.
But I mean, honestly, sometimes in Laguna, you honestly can't even find a spot.
Laguna's ridiculous. Like, it's really hard.
You have to get like an Uber to go in there.
Well, she had a friend that lived in Laguna, and they didn't have an extra like parking spot, so she would park on the street, and literally she could not leave on the weekends because if she left, she could not park there anymore.
Yeah. Okay, and then here's another pro for all you marine biologists.
A marine biologist?
Yes.
Why am I a marine biologist?
There is a place called the Ocean Institute. So
Yes.
what's we love the Ocean Institute.
Yes, it is fantastic. It's really cool because, again, you have an aquarium type. It's an aquarium. It's got feeding for the animals, so it's very interactive with the kids. And what's cool is that they actually have even dissections. You can actually dissect a squid. When my son was 3, he was dissecting a squid there, and I was going, wow, this is pretty cool. I didn't have anything like that growing up, that's for sure.
Yeah, and so they also have, it's called the Spirit of Dana Point. It's a tall ship. So that just
Didn't
means...
it sink?
No, that was a different one. So another one actually sank, and actually what's kind of interesting is that actually the Ocean Institute almost had to close because of some weird thing with their insurance in that ship.
Oh,
so they actually
crazy.
just raised $1 million to restore that ship. So the Ocean Institute is now going strong.
Well, that's good to hear. I mean, that would have been a big loss because I really like that place for sure.
It's really, I love that place.
And it's relatively affordable too. If you get like a year pass for the family,
it's like $90.
Yeah, something like that. And again, that's a whole year, and you can go all the time. And actually, I think you can even park there.
Yeah, so you can park.
It's almost like free parking.
Yeah,
you're going to that beach anyway.
Yeah, you can park there and then maybe go there for an hour or two, and then go to Baby Beach and spend the day there. So yeah, and then another pro of Dana Point is the Lantern District. So what's the Lantern District?
Basically, it's almost like they're downtown. It's really cool. You have like offices, shops, everything that's kind of right there. It's really, and it's close to the harbor too. So you have a nice backdrop, but it's just really convenient.
Yeah, kind of like walking distance.
Yeah, and on all these like roads, these lantern roads, they become pretty big roads actually as they radiate out from there.
Yeah, and also interestingly, there are some historic homes in Dana Point, and most of them I would say are in the Lantern District.
Yeah.
So, yeah, if that's something that you're interested in. And then, okay, so it's mostly cons when talking, mostly cons. Mostly pros when talking about Dana Point, but I would say the only con is location and how close it is to work, to big corporate centers. So explain.
Yeah, so basically your big shops, this is how hard we were working on like finding a con, because really it's tough. But I would say that, okay, like your Home Depots, your Costco's and all that stuff, they're not within Dana Point itself. You're going to have to drive...
Laguna Niguel.
Yeah, you're going to have to drive 10 minutes. I know it's going to be tough, but you're going to drive 10 minutes to get to your Costco's, your Home Depots, your Targets, that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. And of course, if you're working, it's because, again, your major employment centers are really, in Orange County, are basically Irvine, Newport, and Anaheim. I would say those are your 3 main employment centers. And so chances are you're going to be commuting, if you're not working remotely, commuting to those places. So it's a little bit out of the way, but again, that's a coastal city. That's just kind of that goes with the territory anyway. Yeah,
for sure. And then I would say, so we're going to do 2 more pros. The second to last pro is Dana Point has some really cool festivals. Their Festival of the Whales is really famous.
That sounds cool.
Yeah, it's supposed to celebrate, the whale watching that comes in every year. And whale watching usually starts around December. It really just depends on the weather and when the whales decide they want to migrate. So, and they also have the Tall Ship Festival, which it's similar because of the spirit of Dana Point. Dana Point is known for having those older ships, so they have a Tall Ship Festival, and then they have a boat parade at Christmas time, and they have 4th of July fireworks and that kind of stuff. So it kind of goes back to the this small town feel that Dana Point really has. And then let's talk about the schools. The schools is another pro of Dana Point because it's part of the Capistrano
Unified School
District, which is a really good school district. Dana Hills High School is a really good high school. San Juan Hills High School is a really good high school. And then
they have a Spanish immersion.
Yeah, they have a Spanish immersion program that also is included with. They include it with a marine biology program.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, and then there are, I would say, a lot of people that live in Dana Point. They do send their kids to elementary school in Laguna Niguel because it's literally just 5 minutes away. So your options for school are really, really good when you're living in Dana Point as well. So that's it. That's our video.
But again, you got to reach out to us to find out perfect area that you want to live in or want to maybe go see. So in order to do that, you got to shoot us a text, send us an email, or give us a call. However you want to get a hold of us, we got your back when moving to or from Orange County.